In the heart of Michigan, a town called Singapore rose from the wilderness. Nestled among the dense trees and untamed land, it was a beacon of hope for many. Its founder, O'Shea Wilder, saw opportunity in the vast forests. He envisioned a thriving community where others saw only challenges. The year was 1837. The land was raw and wild, but Wilder's vision was clear. Life was hard for early settlers. They faced harsh winters, unpredictable weather, and the constant threat of disease. They struggled to tame the land. Every tree felled and every field plowed was a testament to their perseverance. But with grit and determination, they built a life for themselves. The town grew slowly. Log cabins turned into homes and paths became roads. Each year, new families arrived seeking their fortune. They brought with them dreams of prosperity and a better life. Singapore was a testament to the American spirit. It embodied the belief that with hard work and determination, anything was possible. A place where dreams could be carved from the wilderness. It stood as a symbol of hope and resilience, a reminder of what can be achieved when people come together with a common purpose. The sound of progress echoed through the forest. The rhythmic clang of axes against wood, trees fell, making way for lumber mills. Singapore found its footing in the lumber industry. The town boomed. Homes, businesses, and a school sprang up. Singapore even boasted its own newspaper and post office. The town thrived, unaware of the price of its success. The trees, once protectors, were now seen as commodities. Singapore's landscape was unique. Towering white pine trees held a secret. They were guardians, holding back a relentless enemy sand dunes. These dunes, sculpted by wind, were a constant threat. The trees with their deep roots acted as anchors. They kept the sand in check, protecting the town. It was a delicate balance, one that would soon be broken. Section 4. The Winds of Change. When nature fights back. The demand for lumber grew. More trees fell, their sacrifice fueling the town's prosperity. The loggers, blinded by profit, ignored the warnings. They cut down the very trees that protected them. With the guardians gone, the sand dunes were unleashed. The wind carried the sand inland, slowly but surely. At first it was a nuisance. Then it became a threat. Section 5. A town buried in time. The slow death of Singapore. Sand began to encroach upon the town. What was once a bustling community started to feel the weight of nature's relentless advance. The golden grains of sand, carried by the wind, began to infiltrate every corner of the town. It filled yards, blocked doorways, and piled up against buildings. The once clear pathways and vibrant gardens were now buried under layers of sand. The townspeople watched in despair as their beloved town was slowly being consumed. The people of Singapore fought back, desperate to save their homes. They erected fences, planted trees, and created barriers in a bid to halt the advancing dunes. Their determination was evident as they worked tirelessly day and night, and even dynamited sand dunes. Explosions echoed through the town as they tried to reclaim their land from the encroaching desert. The sight of dynamite blasts became a common occurrence, a testament to their relentless spirit. But their efforts were futile. Despite their best attempts, the sand continued its relentless march. The barriers they built were no match for the sheer volume of sand that poured in daily. The sand, relentless and unforgiving, swallowed everything in its path. Homes were abandoned, businesses closed, and the once thriving community was brought to its knees. The streets that once echoed with laughter and chatter were now eerily silent, and the townspeople were forced to flee. Families packed up their belongings, leaving behind memories and dreams. The exodus was heartbreaking. As people left the town they had called home for generations. By the 1920s, Singapore was a ghost town. The once lively streets were now deserted, and the town stood as a silent witness to the power of nature. The story of Singapore serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between human settlements and the natural world. Section 6. Echoes of the Dust Bowl. A stark reminder from the past. The story of Singapore is a cautionary tale. Once a bustling lumber town in Michigan, it now lies buried under sand dunes, a ghost town reclaimed by nature. It reminds us of the Dust Bowl, a man-made ecological disaster that swept across the Great Plains in the 1930s. The Dust Bowl was a period of severe dust storms that greatly damaged the ecology and agriculture of the American and Canadian prairies. Short-sighted decisions and a disregard for the environment had devastating consequences. Over-farming and drought led to the loss of fertile topsoil, turning once productive land into a barren wasteland. Just like the farmers who cleared the Great Plains, seeking to maximize their yields without considering the long-term effects, the lumberjacks of Singapore failed to heed nature's warnings. They cut down vast swaths of forest, leaving the land vulnerable to erosion and the encroaching sand dunes. They disrupted a delicate balance, and the consequences were severe. The town was eventually abandoned, its buildings left to decay and be swallowed by the shifting sands. Singapore stands as a silent monument to the importance of environmental stewardship. It is a stark reminder that our actions, driven by short-term gains, can lead to long-term devastation. It serves as a reminder that our actions have consequences, and that we must live in harmony with nature. By learning from the past, we can make better choices for the future, ensuring that we do not repeat the mistakes that led to such tragedies.